Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. Today we're making this card. It's a lovely thank you card and it's meant to be these fields of tulips, and if you know me, tulips are my favourite flower, so I really had to use the stamp set. Excuse me, so let me show you the stamp set. It's called Tulip Fields. And you can see here we've got these two pieces here to make our fields of tulips that we're going to use, and a windmill. We've got these trees, and now it does have matching dies, which are the windmill dies, and I have used that in a previous project, so I'll link that below so you can see that. But let's get started. And I plan to use this set more than once, I know I do, because I love it and I want to play with it because I love tulips, and who doesn't love tulips? It's bright and beautiful and so many different colours, and they just sing to my heart, they do. Okay, so we're stamping this first layer here in Poppy Parade, lovely bright red, giving it a really good press down. There we go, lovely. I'm going to close up my Poppy Parade for now. I tend to close up my ink pads as soon as I finish using them, not because they're going to dry out or anything like that, but for the pure and simple reason that I find if I close them, there's less chance of something dropping in them, and that is definitely something that will happen. If they're closed, then no harm can come. Okay, so let's get rid of this piece here and bring in this piece. Okay. And I'm going to do my centre point this time first. I didn't do this last time first, but I think I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do it first. So and just line it up. Try and get it straight, or it looks straight. Something like that. Okay. And what colour shall I do? Let's do pumpkin pie. I've got pumpkin pie here, so let's do some pumpkin pie. I think my pumpkin pie definitely needs to be re-inked, but we will make it work. Now, if you haven't bought re-inkers, make sure you buy them for any colours that are retiring, certainly for the ink colours that are retiring. That's Misty Moonlight, etc. So you don't want to miss out on getting your re-inkers. I tend to buy the re-inkers the same time as I buy the ink pads, and that way I know I've always got them. There we go. There's our layer. Close that up, and I always give a clean in between so that I can reposition things without making a mess. And this is just the simple chamois that I've used a bazillion times. You've seen me using it. It's very well loved and it still works a treat. Okay. So now let's try and put in the rest of our pieces now that we've got our centre piece in. And we can put in the rest. Okay. Look, sorry if my head's in the camera, just so I can see what I'm doing. And I have put just a piece of snail actually on the bottom of my, not that I kept in place there, but on the bottom of my cardstock to try and help it stay in place. You don't want your magnets to meet. Let's use this sometime. I've got the other colour here, I've got this Mango Melody. Again, giving it a really good ink. There we go, lovely. And clean up again. This is, as I said, the simple chamois really comes into its own. So all this clean up. So let's move this magnet. I'm going to need to move my whole cardstock this time because of the to get lined up, and I've got a bit of ink there, so clean that up. Okay, so let's move it right across. Just someone like that. Hold it down. Now this should fit. Yay, it does. You're just going to line it up again as best as you can, like that. Okay, and Mango Melody again. Good ink up, down, good press. There we go. Lovely, jubbly. What are we going to do next? We're going to clean, obviously. Spending our day cleaning, aren't we? But as you can see, the simple chamois really makes cleanup lovely and simple. I'm just checking I've got nothing on my mat, on my lid. You can just wash this when it gets to, you know, underneath the tap, so you don't need to worry. Mine's just a bit stained. This has been going like that for a few years, but you just wash it under the tap and it's fine. Now we're just going to put in our last layers here. Try and get them even. And that'll do me. As you can see, it doesn't totally fill my card panel, but that's not a problem. We're going to cut this down. I tend to prefer to have too much and then cut it down, rather than having too little and then having to start again. Just the way I roll. Okay, lovely. And then one more stamp of this and we're done. So let's move this round to here. Again, you can just put it wherever you want. I am not too fussy about things. Some people will spend ages lining up. That's great, and that's what you want to do. Me, not the way I roll, unfortunately. Okay. There we go. That's our field of tulips. So I'll set that aside. Just clean this so we can remove it. Okay. And then I'm going to get a scrap of basic white. Looking for a scrap. Here is a scrappy. And I'm going to use the other tulip set we've got, this one called Flowering Tulips, and I've used this as well. It's a gorgeous set, and we're going to use this sentiment here, this thank you one. Okay, and I'm just going to pop it somewhere like there will do. Poppy Parade again. Inky, inky, inky. Close that up. Plonk that down. Give it a good press. Lovely jubbly, that's done. One final one final clean up. Okay, so we can put the simple chamois away. Get that off the lid. Around the back, put our magnets away. So useful that they have these little places to put the magnets away. It makes life so much easier. So get rid, sorry about the noise, get rid of the Stamparatus, and we can start to build our card. So let's cut this panel down. So I'm going to bring in my trusty trimmer, and I'm going to cut a little bit off the base here, just like that, and I'm going to cut some off both sides, I think, just like that. And I'm not following any measurements here, I'm just doing this all by eye. And then I'm going to cut, I think, somewhere like that. And that's going to be my panel. So I get rid of these bits here. There we go. Now I'm going to, now you can cut this out using the layering circles dies. I am being naughty and using my old punches that are now retired because I was in a naughty mood. I love my punches. I was very sad when these retired, but I kept them because I keep most of my punches. I hardly ever sell off retired punches. If you see me sell off a retired punch, it means I really wasn't mad about it, but the majority of the time I keep all my punches. I don't sell anything off. And then I'm going to bring in some of this designer series paper, and I'm going to punch out. What are we going to do? I'm going to punch out with using my 2-inch punch. So the first punch I used was 1 3/4 inches. This is a 2-inch punch that I'm going to use to punch a piece out of that. And then the last one is a 2 1/4 inch punch, which I'm going to use. I'll try and get you know what, let me see where this is going to go on my eek. This is going to go somewhere in the centre here. No, I thought I would use that to gut it, but I think it might be a bit too big, so let's just try here. Yeah, we can get it out. There we go. Just. Okay, so now my oops, punch overboard. My table looks like something has hit it, so let's get rid of all of these extras here and put that aside. And let's start layering this up. We can layer this one here on top of our, this is So Saffron, and then we want to get our basic grey, which is that one, and then we're going to start to layer up our cards. So Poppy Parade is our card base, and I'm just seeing what I've got here. Where's my pieces? Okay, so let's take our piece of basic grey. Well, that's the end of that snail, so let's use some Tombow instead. This is what I've got on hand. Nearly at the end of my snail. I'll be on the Stampin seal. Even though it came in ages ago, I just haven't, I've been still going through my stock of snail. And now you're going to put one on top of the other, just like that. And then I'm going to put this on top of our card base. Just like that, and then we're going to have a look at this and see where this will go. This will go here. Again, some snow, some Tombow, and I think I want it that way, definitely that way. Okay, just like that. And this panel is smaller than my panel before, but it's not the end of the world. get rid of the Tombow, and then I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. So it's sticking to me. Okay. Okay, get rid of those. Right way round is always useful. Stick that in the centre. And then finishing touches are these, and they are these resin stars embellishments. And I'm going to use these stars here. They're really nice, these ones, because they're quite chunky. Not overly chunky, but they just give a nice different texture to your card, which is, it's always nice to have different textures, different dimensions, etc. Okay, there are our 2 cards. I hope you liked them. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know, and please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. As I said, if you want more information, it's all on the blog post on my and on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.